Give it up, a big round of applause to Brian Muller.
Well, thank you, Joshua, for having me here today. I live in Woodbury, so this was a nice little drive over here, but I love this side of town, and great to see all these beautiful faces today. I named my firm Momentous Wealth Advisors because of the definition. You don't hear it said very often. You ever hear someone say, "Well, that was momentous"? Not very often, right? But I love the definition. The definition is of a decision, event of great importance or significance, especially on its bearing of the future. It says a lot about what I do as a wealth advisor, but also as a health and life coach as well. You help people make important decisions that can impact their life. And many of you in this room do this every day in your professions as well. But what really kind of got me to this point of not just being a wealth advisor, because that's what I did my whole career. In 1996, I went right into the business right out of college, was a finance and economics major, and that's all I did. And it wasn't until I started feeling like there was something missing that I wanted to teach people how to live a better life, where I started developing workshops for our region of the brokerage firm I was working at the time. And I was developing a 3-hour workshop, and the title of this workshop was Developing a Compelling Vision for Your Life. And that same day, my wife, who was 36 at the time, we had a 3 and 5-year-old, she had some stomach and back pain that she was dealing with. She was slotted to go to the doctor that same day I was doing this workshop. I had 35 people in the room, and I put my heart into this workshop. I developed this whole thing myself and was helping teach these advisors how to live this compelling vision. And little did I know that 2 weeks later, the news we would get would completely upend our life. My wife was 36, she was an Air Force veteran, and she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And 10 months later, she was gone. So this compelling vision that I had for my life, that I was teaching other people how to build, was completely disrupted. And I didn't know what to do. I was in, obviously deep grief for a long time. Did all the things, the therapy, EMDR therapy, I journaled. I'm also a singer-songwriter, and I wrote about 40 songs about grief and loss. And just did all the things because I knew if I got right, that my kids would be okay. And so I knew one day I'd have to design a way to live a richer life going forward without my wife. And so I developed a framework that I call the Made Life Framework. And this is the Made Life philosophy. There's many other things I believe in besides these 8 things, but these are just some of them. Experiences are more important than things. Strong relationships should be centered around the 3 A's, and I'll go over those in just a bit. Your health is paramount to being able to enjoy your wealth. Having a financial plan can contribute to your overall well-being. Living with intention leads to more fulfillment and joy. Giving back is a priceless life experience. Comfort is the enemy of achievement, and your why behind your why is what will keep you inspired long term. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of these that are on this Made Life philosophy. And the Made Life philosophy is an acronym. It's all about creating more meaning in your life. It's about accomplishing, that's the A in the Made Life frame. It's about accomplishing things without sacrificing your most important relationships. It's about making a difference in the lives of others. And it's about creating experiences, because life is all about the journey and the experiences and the memories we create. So I believe there's 3 moments that I think can change your life. And if you've ever delved into self-development, there's a lot of this feeling of, well, I'm missing something. There's lack. I need more. If I was to pick up a guitar and start performing songs to you, most of my songs are about this subject, about not feeling like I have a fulfillment in my life, that there's more, there's more, there's more. But moment number one, I believe, is the day you change your belief and mindset on what is possible for you. It's not just knowing something is possible, it's changing your mindset to know it's possible for you. That's when things start to change. And then there's moment number two, the day you act on that new belief and start working towards your new vision. And then moment number three is the day you create internal inspiration. Internal inspiration is what's going to keep you motivated long term. That's why a lot of the people that go on The Biggest Loser, they lose all this weight and they go right back to where they are. They didn't have any internal motivation. They didn't have a stronger why behind their why to keep them inspired long term. So really, everyone in this room, your life is the sum of all the decisions you've made up until now, right? Every choice you've made along your journey has led you to the life that you have right now. The big question is these decisions that we make each day that turn into new standards and habits and then become part of who we are, the big question is why don't we always act in the best interests of ourselves when it comes to building our wealth, whether it's reaching health goals or life goals? Why don't we make decisions each day? Well, first of all, we don't see the results at the end of the day, right? Or if you're trying to get healthier or lose weight, we don't see the results at the end of the day. But the biggest answer, there's many other reasons, but I think this is the biggest one. We won't consistently act in a way that is inconsistent with the way we view ourselves. This is not like wisdom that I created here, but this is someone in the self-development world that said this, and I reworded it a little differently. You won't consistently act in a way that is inconsistent with the way you view yourself. And that's where the first momentous decision comes into play. It's all about transforming your mindset. If you want permanent change in your life, you need to figure out a way to adjust your mindset and become this new person that you want to be. So adopt a health and wealth mindset. Clearly imagine the person you want to become. What does the healthiest and most financially successful version of you do, believe, and value? What do you value? If you're a healthy person, what do you do? A healthy person typically, not saying that you can't work out later in the day, but a healthy person typically works out right away in the morning before their willpower fades like a cell phone battery. Right? We all know this if you try to work out later in the day. And it works. If it works for you, keep doing it. But they eat a healthy breakfast to set themselves up for the day, and then good nutrition follows. They don't indulge in fast food, and they always carry a water bottle. Most people that are really into health and have a healthy mindset, they are always carrying a water bottle. A healthy person does something active every day. How about a wealthy person? A wealthy person pays themselves first. They live within their means. They have a financial plan. They know where their money is going. Believe it or not, wealthy people have a budget. When you say the word budget, you think of your buddy who's like, I can't go out tonight. I'm on a budget, right? But wealthy people have budgets. They want to know where their money is going and not know where it went and why it's all gone. They pay themselves first, but they know where their money is going and they don't waste money on unnecessary things. So you have to adopt some type of health and wealth mindset. Momentous decision number 2, this is more about life and relationships. Build stronger relationships using the 3 A's. The 3 A's are attention, affection, and appreciation. Now there's many other things that can make a good relationship, but If there's something off in your marriage or your relationship, you usually can point to one of these 3 A's. Whether it's the affection, or you're not showing enough appreciation, or you're not giving enough attention. If you center all your relationships around trying to think about the 3 A's each day, think about when you come home from work and if your spouse had a tough day, you're going to give them some affection. You're going to rub their shoulder. You're going to make sure they're okay. Give them a strong hug. I always love Jim Rohn's quote on attention. He said, the greatest gift we can give someone is the gift of our intention. And then appreciation. What's great about that is you make 2 people feel good. The person you're thanking and yourself. Momentous decision number 3, create more joy in your life. This was a big one for me. First of all, how many of you would like more joy in your life? Yeah. I think as adults, I have an 11 and 13-year-old. It seems like they're laughing all the time. Like, I can't remember the last time I really laughed. Really laughed. But when my wife died in 2016, 2017, I could not find joy. I was deep in grief. It was probably there, I just didn't see it, until I found a journaling exercise that was called 3 Moments of Joy. And this journaling exercise changed everything for me, because what I did is I journaled about the previous day, my 3 moments of joy. I started with 1, so I wasn't so intimidating, but I worked my way up to 3. What ended up happening is I was intentionally looking for joy or creating it, so I had something good to write down in my journal the next day. And what it did after days and days, usually it didn't happen right away. I wasn't all of a sudden this cheerful, joyful person, but I started to create joy rather than just looking for it. But I also was finding it in those little moments. So create more joy in your life by doing a journaling exercise. It keeps you intentional about looking for joy. Momentous decision number 4, create a financial plan centered around living for today, but saving for the future. That's very hard, right? Everything seems so expensive, but it's all about paying yourself first, knowing your values, and not just putting away money for the future, but also creating some type of an experience account or a difference account. How much difference you want to make with your church or an organization? How much experiences do you want to create in your life? Have an account for that as well. But if you want to create financial freedom, financial independence, or financial security, you can achieve those things. But they're very different. It all comes down to understanding your values. If I was to take a look at your credit card and bank statements, none of my clients have ever shown me this, but if I was to look at yours, I could find out within about 30 minutes what is important to you, what you value. And take a look at what you're spending money on. Does it align with your values? Does it align with your values? So create a financial plan about living for tomorrow, living for today, saving for tomorrow. The last one, momentous decision number 5, is know your why behind your why. It's not enough just to know what you want. It's about finding those deeper reasons why you're pursuing those goals. You've heard Simon Sinek, he talks about your why, but your why behind your why is the deeper reason. It's not enough to know just what you want to achieve. You have to understand those deeper reasons. Instead of saying, I should work out, you might say, it becomes part of who you are and you commit to a healthy lifestyle because it's a must. Tony Robbins always says this all the time. You've got to turn your shoulds and coulds into what? It's got that big deep voice and he's right in your face. But it's true. You have to turn your shoulds and coulds into musts. When you turn your shoulds and coulds into musts, then you commit to it and you stick to it. And you create a healthy lifestyle. You create a wealthy lifestyle eventually by creating these musts in your life that you must achieve. So what is your why for wanting to be healthy? The common answers are lose weight, look and feel good, or might be your doctor said so. But my why for my health is to be fit and healthy. That's my why. But my why behind my why is to be fit and healthy for my kids. To be fit and healthy long into my 60s and 70s so that I can see them walk down the aisle, become productive adults, hopefully, one day, and to have the energy to play with my grandkids when I'm 70. I had kids later in life, so I got to be fit and healthy if I want to play with my grandkids. And that's my why for being fit and healthy, my why behind my why. So my challenge for you is to think about one of the things I said. Choose one of these decisions, whether it's prioritizing your health, paying yourself first, creating more joy, or nurturing your relationships, or sitting down and creating a financial plan. Because I do believe a financial plan gives you some sense of security and a plan for the future. I've always loved, I'll close on this quote, and thank you for having me here today. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I almost replay it in my head every day. Jim Rohn is like the godfather of self-development. Everybody is always, that you ever have heard in self-development, quotes Jim Rohn. He said, we all must suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. I love this quote because I get chills every time I even say it out loud. Because really when it comes down to it, I don't want to have any regrets in life. I don't want any of you to have any regrets in life. I believe we all deserve a richer life. And I'd like you all to start deserving it by taking some sort of action. Whether it's one of these things I mentioned today, whatever it is you're thinking about, take some action on something to live with more joy, to create a financial plan, to have better relationships, whatever it is. We're all just one decision away from transforming our life. The question is what decision are you going to make today? Thank you.